Welcome to my review of the new Callaway 2019 Epic Flash, and this is the Sub-Zero review. So we've seen big launch early 2019 of Callaway with the Epic Flash, some very different technology happening in the club face. We've seen a standard Flash one, which I've done a review on my channel already, which you can go and check out, but this is the Sub-Zero version. Let's see what this driver is all about and how it performs. So just before we jump into the video, thanks very much for tuning in and watching. If you're enjoying the content I'm putting out there, then please consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. Hit the logo MNG in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, hit the bell icon, get notifications of any future videos. You'll be one of the very first ones to watch it. If you've already subscribed and you're coming back, thank you for your support, very much appreciated. Loads more content coming out your way through this year. So, Epic Flash, a lot of technology, and very much the talking point of this driver is around the club face and the Flash face is what they're calling it. So, supercomputer, Callaway invested a load of money in a new computer with artificial intelligence that has produced 15,000 virtual prototypes of this driver to get to where we are with Flash. So, very interesting here. It's all hidden behind the club face, so it's like a rippling effect, which looks a little bit random in a way, so there's no sort of symmetrical rippling as you would look at it. Just looks a little bit random, but obviously this is how the computers come out through all these prototypes that it's come through. So creating fast ball speeds across the face, which is definitely a theme we're seeing across many brands for 2019, is speed. Big word in golf at the moment. So Sub-Zero, a little bit different than standard ones, a little bit more compact on that front to back size of the club head basically. We've got that screw now in the front section of the sole, so that's pulling CG further forward. We've still got a track in the back, which we didn't see in previous Sub-Zero models, but we've still seen it we're now seeing it in the Flash. But that weight in the back is I believe is 4 grams lighter than the one in the standard one. So again, lighter weight in the back, the weight in the forward is all pulling CG closer to that club face for that little bit lower launch and probably a little bit more of that lower spin. Okay, so let's get hitting some golf balls. So putting that down by the golf ball there, very much a shape that I like. A little bit more compact there than the standard version. A little bit more round, a little bit more squat in that club face, so a little bit more of a shape that appeals to me. Possibly, if you want something very much confidence inspiring, maybe the standard one might suit you a little bit better. So it does look a little bit less friendly, but not overly less friendly in a way. It still looks to be plenty behind that golf ball there, which is good. Sits lovely and square, gloss black finish, seeing that weave of that carbon on the top. Let's get this first one hit. Yeah, it feels lovely. That's a good solid hit. Pretty neutral there. Looks to be pretty long. Yeah, 311. Yeah, decent hit there. So looked to be quite a bit sort of penetrating there. 168 ball speed. That's a good ball speed. So hopefully I'm going to see some better numbers. I tend to see better numbers of the Sub-Zero. Tend to suit me a little bit better with that weight more forward. Tend to get my spin down a little bit more of that flight for my particular speed. So this was the one I was really excited to sort of review really because of the Sub-Zero and what I've seen in the past. So I used to have an Epic Sub-Zero which I loved, muted sound. This is definitely a louder crack to it against the original Epic with the acoustics, definitely louder. But the original Epic Sub-Zero I really liked. It's got very much my longest hits with that particular driver. Moved into the Rogue Sub-Zero, again I got some big hits with that, performed really nice. So this was always quite excited to see if this Flash was up to it, and up to now looks good. I like the look of it, definitely a bit more compact behind that golf ball than the standard one, a bit more suiting to my eye. Sits very nice and square. Oh, it's lovely. Again, really nice and neutral in its ball flight, lovely sort of trajectory on that flight there also. Feels really, really nice. Definitely a louder sound. That's the biggest thing that jumps out there is the sound of it. Definitely louder. Doesn't bother me massively, but I do prefer maybe more of that muted sound. Oh, just wait till that left-hand side a little bit there. That's just come out with no spin. That's where this has gone longer there now. So you see that 322. Yes, just turned it over, but hit that quite a bit high in the club. That's 1200 spin. So this is maybe the difference maybe when you get into this Sub-Zero. If you've got a particular miss, and this is one of the big reasons why you need to go and get fitted yourself and measure strike, because if you've got that tendency to have that strike high in the club face as maybe a miss, so my miss there was definitely high in the face, see how that's just dragged so much spin off it. So with a Sub-Zero, more low spin, CG more forward, you hit high above that, it's going to rip a load of spin off it, which if you've got speed like me, it'll do all right, as you can probably see. If you haven't, then that ball's just going to drop out that sky really, really quick. So that's maybe one thing you've just got to be careful of. But again, through a fitting process, a good fitter will point that out to you, track your strike, and then maybe suggest going into the standard flash head option as a different sort of route of drive and see how that changes those spin numbers. Oh, that feels superb. That was a bit more middled. Really strong, powerful flight. Very sort of piercing, feels really good. That's 3-3-1. Probably one of the longest drives I've hit there. Again, just up that left-hand side a bit there. I'm just probably not quite getting my alignment working here. Just slightly pulley with a little bit of draw. Again, that tends to be a bit more of my miss, but that is long. 3-3-1. I've not hit into 330s for a long, long time. That's what I sort of tend to see a little bit with the original Epic, maybe not as long as that. Also, maybe with Sub-Zero, and that's where I was excited to try this in terms of just that pure length of tee shot. So that ball speed on that last one was 168.9, so nearly 169 ball speed, which is fast for me. I don't think I've ever had it into that area before. Tend to hover around the 164, 165 mark, maybe 166, depending on the strikes, but 160, nearly 169 is fast. So maybe, you know, flash face, is it that? I don't know, it must be playing definitely a part of it. Let's get this last one hit and then we'll look at those numbers a little bit more detail. Oh, that's a bad swing. That's left. Yeah, that's a horrible swing there. That's really left. That's definitely more me. I just felt that just hang back to flip it. Horrible shot. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to hit another one. Okay, that's better. Bit toe side that one, but that's going to be pretty long, I would say. Slightly toe. It's going to pull a bit of spin off, a little bit right to left shape. Nearly 320, 319. So 165 ball there. That toe strikes. He's just dragged that down a little bit, but he will have dropped a bit of spin off to help me get that sort of distance. Okay, let's look at those numbers a little bit more detail and see how Epic Flash Sub-Zero is performing. Right, let's look at some numbers. So I'm just going to delete that second to last there because that was a horrendous swing from myself. So we'll get that out of there. So 5 shots there with Sub-Zero. So club head speed 116.2. Typically for me, I'm around that sort of number. Ball speed 166.2 on average. You can see that one up to 169, that really good strike. And then 165, that last one there, maybe just not quite middle in that club face. But look at it as an average 166.2, so that's good. That's pretty quick for me, with obviously some real rippers in there. Launch 11.6 on average, spinning at 1923. So definitely see that Sub-Zero, pull that spin down a little bit more. Obviously I had that freaky one in there, that third one, which still goes a long way for me because I've got the speed to cope with that, but you can see it sort of dip a bit more out of the sky. See the peak out and that was only 22 yards, so really flat on its flight. But luckily I had the speed there to keep it in the air long enough to create a 279 carry, and the loads are run out because of the way it's coming in to land at only 24-degree descent angle. So spinning at 1900 on average there, pretty good. That's my sort of number there, averaging at 289 carry, 320 as an average on total distance. Okay, so there we go, Epic Flash Sub-Zero. It's a bit of a beast there, definitely giving me some hot numbers when I get the strike right. Maybe flash face kicking in the touch there with that ball speed. Nearly 169 is fast for me, definitely not been in that area before. So it's fiery. I like the way it's working. I like the way you've still got a little bit of heel to toe adjustment. Obviously, I'm not adjusting anything in this particular video, but there's obviously options there to do that through a fitting process. So from previous Sub-Zero options, you didn't have that. It was just a front to back weight, which you just switched around. Now we've got a heel to toe shiftable weight at the back there. So it gives you a little bit more dialing in opportunity there through a fitting. We've got that weight in the front as we expect to see. And it's a good driver. You know, it looks good. Definitely allowed acoustics. Again, that's a personal choice. Not quite my liking, but I'll get used to that. You know, if I'm bombing at 320 I soon get used to how it sort of sounds in a way. Loads of shaft options, loads of stock shaft options, plus upgrade options. Price tag is in that higher bracket, you know, touching that £500 sterling mark, which, you know, they're all going that way, aren't they? You know, they're all going up and up. There's a few exceptions to that, but most of the big boys are touching that £500 mark. It's a lot of money. If you're willing to invest it, happy days. As long as you get fitted, that's my advice. Loads of options. If you're going to spend that money, get it. Make sure you get the right one first time round, because otherwise it can be a very costly procedure. Thanks very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Epic Flash Sub-Zero, fire them in the comments down below. Is that something on your radar to go and try? Is it up there? Is it just too much money, too much hype? Let me know your thoughts. Love to hear what you are thinking. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please consider doing so. Very much appreciate it. Follow my social media platforms, so both Instagram and Twitter @MNGolfCoach, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.